Hello vegan adventurers, welcome to another exciting vlog. So as you know, we are back in Slovakia after a 6-month trip in South America and after a few days in Barcelona. It's the end of the March, the temperatures are slowly rising, but snow is still staying on our mountains. So we took advantage of this nice sunny weekend day and headed to western Tatras mountains, otherwise known as Rohace, in northern Slovakia. So we only plan to do a little hike through the valley and enjoy the snowy mountains. So the hike starts at the cottage Zverovka and goes through Latana Dolina Valley. And we started to go with a group of people with the cross-country skis, but there was not enough snow at the beginning. So the road through Latana Valley is pretty wide and there is a river running by, so you can fill your water anytime you want. So the cross-country skiers forgot something in the car, so they had to get back, so we just headed on without them. So the Latana Valley is about 2.6 kilometers long, which takes about 45 minutes. And after that there is a single trail path to the hills Lučna and Rakon. Even though there is snow around, when the sun comes up, it gets quite warm, over 10 degrees, and you can put some of your clothes off. So the advantage of cross-country skis, you can go much faster, especially on the flat or downhill. Your shoes are not gonna bury in the deep snow and get wet. So here you can see some cleared up area of the forest, which is usually from strong winds. So at about 11 a.m. we arrived to this crossroad. So on the right we keep going to the hills Lučna and Rakon, and on the left you keep going till the end of the valley, which is maybe 500 more meters. And my mom said she wants to make it to the mountain saddle Zabrać, which is 1 hour away from here, but these times are for summer, so during snow it's going to be much more difficult. In order to protect the sensitive mountain nature, the path is closed from 1st of November to 15th of June. I of course disagree with this restriction. I don't think closing hiking path is gonna have a positive impact on natural habitat. What really has a negative impact is illegal logging, hunting, and of course animal agriculture or people who leave trash and make noise in nature. So as I said before, when the sun comes out, it's gonna be warm even on the snow, and as you see, we're wearing only thin layers. As we're getting up the hill, we're also warming up. now you see it got so warm that I'm only wearing a t-shirt, but I'm wearing all the other clothes in backpack because up there it's gonna be way more windy and much colder, so I'll have to quickly put it up when we get up there. And here you can see a snow trail from alpine skiers or snowboarders that went down this way. So deep snow alpine skiing is a lot of fun, but can be also dangerous if there is not enough snow and a lot of rocks. So Sanya didn't have proper shoes for snow, and she's really not a big fan of hiking in the snow, so she didn't want to go more up, but we see the trail is pretty good. It doesn't go deep in the snow. The weather is quite warm, the sun is out, so for now we feel pretty comfortable and we don't have that much more to go to the saddle. So now the path is getting more steeper and going more on the left, and we're thinking about the possibility of avalanches, but we assume that there is not enough snow for it here, and this hill is not high enough to kind of create an avalanche. The avalanches, however, are in these mountains, on higher peaks probably, so you have to be careful when you go under those peaks and check for warnings for avalanches and conditions. So as we're trying to make our way higher, the slope is getting steeper and steeper and it's becoming harder to get up. When you're hiking in the snow, sometimes the snow can be deep and it's gonna take you double more time than it would take you without the snow. And here we see the first alpine skier going down, so that's a big advantage of having the alpine skis, so you can get down really quickly and it's way more fun than hiking down again. So when I zoom in on the slope, I can see signs of a little avalanche over here. So I think we have to be more careful so we don't get in one. So this hill that you can see in the distance, it's called Osobita, but the path is closed for public all year long because of nature protection. But I know that people still go up there, and I know that bears have territory in the woods around the hill, so maybe that's why they prohibited people to go up there. Okay, so we're getting closer to the mountain ridge and we're just hoping the saddle is gonna be somewhere there because Sanya is having enough and she wants to go back down because the shoes are not good enough for her. this peak that you can see over here, it's called Luchna, and you can also get there from Latana Valley, and the crossroad was somewhere down there, but we didn't see the path because nobody went there. And as we're getting up on this mountain ridge, you can see another hill, Rakon, 1879 meters. And you can also get up there from the other side, from Rohace Dolina Valley, which has also paved road going through it, and it's much more popular with more views. So even though we thought we were already in the saddle was a little bit more up, so we decided to push it more. Sanya was not really keen to do that because her shoes were not designed for snow and she was kind of cold on her feet already. So as we're getting closer to the saddle Zabrać, we also see some more people hiking still up, so we know that we are not here on our own, which is kind of comforting. So as we got even more higher, we got a view of two more hills behind Rakon. So the one just on the right from Rakon is called Volovec, and the rocky one more on the right, it's called Ostry Rohace. And this hill is so steep and treacherous that you have to use the chains that are installed there. So as you're getting more higher, you can see more peaks on the other side of this Rohace mountain range. Okay, so it seems like we have the last push to the saddle, but Sanya is really not in a good mood here, mostly because she is wet and cold on her feet because of not proper shoes. So if we ever gonna go hiking in the snow again, we're not gonna go without proper snowshoes, because it can be quite dangerous here. The temperatures can plummet under zero, and with the wind you can get a frostbite really easily. Okay, so we finally made it to the saddle Zabrać, 1656 meters. Now we can see the whole mountain range, starting from Rakon, then go to Volovec, Ostry Rohace, and the next one it's called Plačlive. And from Plačlive you can descend down to the Smutne saddle, and from there is a path back to Rohacka Valley, so that way you can make a loop through all these hills. So once we were in the saddle, it was definitely worth the hike to see all this scenery around here. And I tried to do a few handstands here, but it was really hard on the snow. So I tried to practice a Wim Hof method almost every day with cold showers. So for me, getting shirt off, even though it's close to 0 degrees, was not a big deal. And as soon as the sun is shining, it was all good. So as I mentioned before, you can go through this mountain ridge and do different loops. So after the Plačlive, the last hill that I mentioned, there is also these 3 little hills called Tri Kopy, and then it's Hrubá Kopa and Baniko, which is the tallest one in the middle. And then you can descend another way down through another valley back to Rohacka Dolina, Or you can also keep going further down the ridge, and all of these hills are over 2000 meters, and sometimes you have to use the chains, but it's not too technical. If you're an experienced hiker, you should be able to do it. So now when the sun is behind the clouds, it's got much colder, like minus 10 degrees or less, so we have to keep warm with a hot tea and just keep moving and get down soon. So as I said, there is a path already down here from this saddle going down to Rohace Dolina Valley, which would take another hour, and then at least another hour back to our car. But we're just gonna go back the same way because we're not sure if the path is walkable through here. Okay, so as we are getting really cold, especially on our hand fingers, and we don't want to risk the frostbites, we have to get down really quickly and start moving our body. So you see on the way down it's much faster and easier to go because you can risk falling down in the soft snow, so you can run here no problem. And here we are trying to slide down on plastic bags that we had with us. So for me it went really well, but for my mom, she can't go much, and Sanya didn't want to try it because she was scared that she's gonna get cold on her ass. So going down on a plastic bag is really fast way to get down on the snow, but you can also gain a lot of speed, so you have to brake with your feet not to hit the tree or some rocks because it's really difficult to turn on it. It's also possible that the snow will get behind your pants, so you'll get cold on your ass and back. So this is the saddle. We've been up maybe 20 minutes ago. So it's crazy how fast you can descend on a skis or plastic bag. By walking, this would take us at least another 10 minutes, if not double more. Okay, so we are entering the forest, so we are getting out of the sunlight again. And we're getting down with another path, so we have to connect back to the same road somehow. So we saw the yellow sign on a tree, so it means that we're actually on the right path that goes through Sedlo Zabrać, where we came from. So it means that on the way up we went some other way. This was probably some shortcut. So as we're descending more down and there is less wind, we feel much more warmer than we felt up there. So it's really important that if you're cold on a mountain, just get in the valley as soon as possible. So here is the information table of where we are. So the Sedlo Zabrać, where we've been, it says 45 minutes. And back to our car, it says 1 hour 20 minutes. So we are right now at 1,280 meters. And there is another way you can go from here to Luchna Hill that I mentioned before. So you would follow the green sign and it would take 1 hour till there. But we see that the path is it's too much deep snow. There's only some marks from cross-country skis. So it's good that we went the other way to the Sedlo Zabrać. Okay, and here we're trying to make a shortcut to the cottage at the end of Latana Valley, but the path is pretty treacherous, especially now when there is a snow here, so you gotta be careful not to slip down into the river. So after crossing the river through the bridge, we got to this cottage, Latana, 1,258 meters, and this is a private cottage, but my mom knows the people, so we're just going inside to eat our lunch. So there are also beds in this cottage, so some people gonna sleep here. But as I said, this is a private cottage, so only for people who know them. And it says -2 degrees on this thermometer. So it's pretty cold, but not too bad. It's getting warmer. It's getting into spring. So as we're heading down, I put a curcuma on my teeth after the meal to help to kill the harmful bacteria, and it also helps to remineralize your teeth. So here it says that from 1926 this area is protected because of 200-year-old trees that are growing here. I need you more every day. Keep a foot on the brake in case I lose all control. Yeah, so baby don't lose control. I'm focused on you, baby. Lately you've been in my aim. I've been reaching out for you. Okay, so after about 15 to 20 minutes of walking, we got to the crossroad where we went on the right and hike all the way up to the Sedlo Zabrać. So we kind of made a loop here. Oh, yeah. And now you make me smile. And here I noticed the sign, it says avalanche area, so yeah, it's true that there can be an avalanche here and you should be really careful, especially now when it's getting warm and the snow is still here. And you can see now that the big road is all covered with the trees because there was a wind calamity that pretty much broke these trees here, and that happens quite often here in these areas. So now when we're just walking on this big road, the hike becomes quite boring because we already went through it. So I would appreciate some cross-country skis to go much faster here. And we're at the river again, and it's perfectly drinkable. There is not much waste. I don't think they put the waste from the cottage in the river here, so it's a great way to get your B12. Okay, so we're almost back at the parking at Zverovka Cottage, and somewhere here on the left you go to the ski lift where I used to be working as a snowboarding instructor. The snowboarding instructor was fun at the beginning, but after a while it becomes repetitive. You have to teach mostly beginners, which becomes kind of boring to do the same steps over and over again, and you don't get to snowboard much. And also hours are not consistent, so sometimes you don't have a work at all and sometimes you have to work like 8 hours a day. And here you can see the same mountain range as we saw from the top. So this is the end of the range. This is the Trikopi, Rubakopa and Baniko, which is the highest hill in this mountain range. And here is probably Plačljive on the left that we also saw from up there. But I'll have to double check, I'm not 100% sure. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this kind of wintry vlog from Slovakia. Our next big adventure will be snowboarding in Austrian Alps. So stay tuned for more amazing adventures, and for now, stay healthy and stay adventurous.